Hey, I'm Lathan and welcome back to my channel. If you're into custom PCs, servers, or smart home tech, you're in the right place. I've been doing custom water cooling builds for a few years now, and I'll be honest, this time I let it run way too long without a flush. That little mistake, it caused way more issues than I expected. This was supposed to be my dream PC. Dual radiators, hardline tubing, RGB fans lighting up the entire build. But underneath all that glow, it was running hot. Really hot. My CPU was throttling, coolant was barely moving, and performance, it was struggling to keep up. So I tore it down and rebuilt it from the ground up. And now I want to show you what I've learned and how you can avoid the same mistakes. Let's get into it. So let's talk about what actually went wrong. First, the temps. My Intel i9-9900K was pushing up to 91 degrees Celsius under load. That's dangerous for a chip that's water cooled. Then there was the flow rate. I was only getting about 1.3 liters per minute through the entire loop. That low flow rate was mostly due to the EK DDC 3.1 pump. It's compact, but it didn't have the power to push dual radiators and my hardline tubing in the same setup. It's basically like a trickle. And then there were the fans. I had Corsair QL's 120s, which look amazing, but they have awful static pressure. And static pressure is how well a fan can push air through dense components like radiators. The QL 120s looked great, but their air couldn't push through the fins efficiently. And they couldn't push air through the radiators, so the heat built up and it built up inside of that case. At this point, I knew I needed a rebuild, but I didn't want to sacrifice the aesthetics. RGB is part of the vibe, but if it's not cooking my components. So the challenge became, how do I improve thermal performance while keeping the clean RGB heavy look? My goal was to separate form from function, RGB inside of the case, and real airflow where it counts. Here's what I planned out. Number 1, swap out the CPU. Number 2, upgrade to DDR5 and a new motherboard. Number 3, a new CPU block. Number 4, replace the pump. Number 5, install performance fans in a push-pull setup. And 6, do a proper flush and refill the loop. That way I can start fresh and optimize every part of the system. So let's talk about what actually went into the rebuild. I replaced the i9-9900K with a Ryzen 7 9800X 3D. It's more efficient, has better game performance, and runs cooler. For the motherboard, I upgraded to the Gigabyte X870 Aorus Elite Wi-Fi 7 ICE. RAM, I switched to 32 gigs of DDR5, 6000 MHz in white to match the aesthetic. For the CPU block, I went with the Corsair XT7 Elite LCD. It has a built-in IPS screen and it's gorgeous. And for the pump, I used the AK DDC 4.2 pump, which alone transforms the flow rate. Then the fans. This was the most strategic change. So I upgraded to Corsair's new QX 120s, which have better RPMs, but on the inside, I switched to 6 Arctic P12 Max fans underneath the rads for a push-pull for real airflow. Performance on the outside, RGB on the inside. No compromises. My coolant, which was the Ecair Cryofuel Clear, had turned cloudy, which is not dangerous, but definitely not ideal. So I used Primo Chill Primo Prep, drained through the return line, blasted the air out with an air blower, and pushed about 1.5 liters of distilled water. Then I refilled with the new Corsair XL8 clear coolant, and honestly, that flush probably did more than I expected. Always flush, don't skip it. Cinebench R20 went from 10,404 to 21,210, which is over 100% gain. CPU temps dropped from 90 degrees under full load to 81 degrees. And for GPU temps, which was already water cooled, went from 71 down to 54, which was a major improvement. Now the flow rate is about 3.4, 3.5 liters per minute, which is triple what it usually was. And during gaming, the coolant stays about 41 degrees Celsius, which is a massive win. The system finally runs as cool as it looks. So what did I learn from all of this? 1. QL120s are not radiator fans. They look amazing, but they were holding back the entire loop. 2. Push and pull works. Use performance fans where it matters and RGB where it shows. 3. The DDC 4.2 pump is a beast. It made the loop so much more responsive. And 4. Don't underestimate a proper flush. It resets your loop and makes everything perform better. If your loop looks great but runs hot, this might be the push you need to rethink your setup. You can have aesthetics and performance, but it takes planning. Drop a comment if you've ever done a full rebuild or if you're thinking about reworking your loop. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more PC rebuilds, home lab content, and smart upgrades like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next project.